Yep.
You just wanted to do that, right, James?
Yeah, I was.
Oh, here's Nicole.
Yeah, here we go.
It's on his way.
There we go.
The clock has been rescheduled.
No, we're gonna head straight up after this. We're just slightly delayed. They're still all up there.
Okay. And
But we'll
it's
wait.
getting less late, but
Yeah, we'll wait. We'll make sure that you have the availability with
Okay.
the candidates. Okay, that's no problem. Oh, nice to meet you.
Charles Leblanc, a blogger.
Wow, this is getting worse. We can't find room to sit anything down. At least they're taping them down so I can't hit them off as easily. Well, good morning, folks. Bonjour. It's, we just had a great meeting with Lieutenant Governor Jocelyn Roy-Vigneault. Je viens de rencontrer son Excellence le Lieutenant Governor Jocelyn Roy-Vigneault. I wanted to ensure and reassure her that my team and I were ready to form and able to form government and provide stability within our province. And as such, our conversation went very well, because it's certainly very evident that her whole focus is in how do we restore stability to our province and make sure that our province can move forward. Je vous rassure les gens de Nouveau-Brunswick, moi et mon équipe, nous sommes prêts à gouverner et à assurer la stabilité dont notre province a besoin. So it's, for me, what is going on is concerning, and that Brian Gallant is acting without any apparent care to fulfill the wishes of the people. And for me, it's about the privilege and the honor of serving to make this province a better place for us to live. It's evident that he's desperate to hold on to power, and he's trying to buy time with hopes that he can convince one of my MLAs to cross the floor. And you know, it's a disappointing process, and I actually was present when one call was made to one of my MLAs. I took the call, just to kind of put it in the forefront. What he's doing is disrespectful to the people of the province and the decision that has already been made. Ces actionnements de respect envers les gens de notre province, la décision n'est pas respectée. It is also not in the Brunswick best interest. Our province cannot wait in limbo. There is a sense of urgency here, and it's not in our best interest while Brian Gallant tries to find a way to hold on to power and keep his job. There are other priorities, and it's sad that he's so focused on his own future career. I'm concerned about many of the issues that we have in the province. Many issues, whether it be on the carbon tax situation, but on our softwood lumber tariffs, which so many companies are paying a 20% tariff. And when the market changes, they're going to be subject to major economic hardship, which could indeed shut them down. And yet here we are playing the game of politics when we should be focused on the future of our province. So we have the tariffs, we have flood victims that are still waiting for compensation. We have many time-sensitive issues that can greatly impact our economy and the people of this province. And the province deserves and needs a functioning government. So that is why I met with the Lieutenant Governor this morning, to express my concerns and to demonstrate that I have the ability and the support to form government. And therefore I ask that the legislature be called back as soon as possible to ensure the people of New Brunswick have a legitimate government. Her Honor and I agree, time is of the essence, and she indicated that she will not wait months or even weeks. To be clear, if the House is called back, and if Gallant is defeated, it will not trigger an election. he would give the impression that is the next step, but that is not. Should he be defeated, when the House is called back, the Lieutenant Governor will look immediately to me to form government. So there's no pending election based on Gallant being defeated in the House. I will be given the opportunity to immediately form the government at the very moment that he's defeated. So, you know, I continue to have faith in the system. We have a situation like this in New Brunswick right now because people have spoken that they're not happy with the current arrangements that governments have provided over the number of years, and they want different voices heard to move our province forward. I've said many times I see this as an opportunity. I see it as an opportunity because from the very beginning I've been talking about how do we change politics. I've seen politics as the biggest single barrier to success in our province. And this is an opportunity for us to work together and find common goals that become a priority. I continue to have faith in the system. I have faith that both the Green Party and the People's Alliance will respect the decisions handed down by New Brunswick on election night. And to be clear, you know, I'm not cutting deals to stay in power. I've said this over and over again. If people join our party, then that's fine. But I'm not going to buy their support. I'm not forming a coalition government because I believe the people expect us to work together and find ways to work together. And they want the representatives of their parties to represent them, represent their interests, and then we find ways to make it work. I'm not offering MLAs from other parties in Senate for them to cross the floor. I told New Brunswick I would govern with integrity and it wouldn't be the same old politics. And I will stick to that. And I'll stick to that. You know, if it means that my career in politics is limited, then so be it. I've said from the beginning, I'm here for one reason, and it's for us to change the face of how the province of New Brunswick is governed and put priorities of our people first. I said from the very beginning, I'm committed to doing things differently, and I will hold true to that. I guess it's, people will say that's a fault I have. I consider it a virtue, and I consider it what is long overdue in the leadership in this province. So we don't need a coalition. In order to make this government work, we need people wanting to do the right things for the province of New Brunswick. We don't need to make backroom deals because that's what's been happening for years. And people are sick and tired of people trying to hold on to power by cutting some shady deal. And the last priority would be the people of the province. The first priority would be trying to stay in power. Well, I'm not going to do that. We can, and I'm hopeful we'll form a minority government, because that's exactly what the people of the province voted for. I mean, they voted for the situation we're in because they want us to find a way to work together. Je suis fidèle à ma parole. Pas de coalition, pas d'autant de secret. Nous allons former un gouvernement minoritaire parce que c'est ce que les gens de Nouveau-Brunswick ont exprimé en votant. So this sets a new tone for how our government will function. It sets a tone that I've been talking about for many years. It signals a new way of politics, doing politics differently. I've said over and over again that I will put the province first and politics second. I am hopeful the third parties, the People's Alliance and the Green Party, will agree. And they will send a message to the people of the province with their decision that will be respected by giving our party a vote of confidence in the legislature. After all, I have the most seats. That is typically how democracy works. The one with the most seats gets an opportunity to form government and the opportunity to work with others to make that happen. I'm calling on Brian Gallant to do the honorable thing and recognize that he lost the election. He does not have a mandate to govern, and he's prolonging the inevitable, and it's unfortunate that that's the case. If he refuses to resign, he should do what is right for New Brunswick and immediately call the legislature back so that the province have a stable and functioning government. And I want to reiterate that calling the legislature back does not, in his defeat in the House, does not trigger a provincial election. All it does is legitimize what the public has already said, that we have the opportunity to form government and we move forward with the democratic process. L'Assemblée législative devra être rappelée immédiatement pour s'assurer que notre province ait un gouvernement stable et efficace. So I thank you very much for being here. Thanks for your patience. The meeting took a little longer than necessary. As always, the meetings I've had with Her Honor has been very cordial, and I'm always impressed by the conviction she has for our province and in her interest to do what's right and best to move our province forward. Thank you very much.
Mr. Higgs, if you say you can form a government to bring stability and you're not going to make any deals with other parties,
how do you govern with stability with only 22 seats? Well, the deal is not something that has to be a signed document that says, here, I'll give you this if you give me that. It has to be the principle in which we were elected. So we have a lot of important issues in the province that I'm sure I can work with multiple parties on. I'm not worried about that. And I'll use the Crown Land and Forestry Act as an example. You know, the things we have in our platform with the health and the mental health, the surgical wait time, more nurse practitioners. These are all common issues. So my point is this. I think that everyone's been elected to move the province forward. And I think that people are tired of someone, you know, cutting a deal to stay in power. I believe that we can go into the legislature and we can start working on things that are important to New Brunswick. And we will work and we'll find different opinions and we'll include people to be part of this, but we'll find a path through. Because I think people are ready to say, will you guys just stop playing games and start working on the province?
Have you begun discussions with the Greens or the Alliance to figure out how you can find common ground so that you can carry forward governing if you need to?
No, I haven't. I have talked to David Kuhn, and we spoke earlier, and we spoke this morning. And basically, you know, he wants to get together and talk about how we can work together. And yes, I'm prepared to do that. But basically, let's focus on the things we agree on. And if we bring the House together, and I think for me it would be nice for the assurance of the people of the province to basically have an agreement that, look, we're going to work and we're going to give this 12 months or 24 months, and we're just not going to bring people back to the polls because that's not why we're here. We're here to get a job done. And let's see how this works. And so I would like to think that you could work with any of the parties and say, you know, let's put a timeline on this to make this really work, and let's not just for the sake of change force election. Nobody wants I don't want an election, and I don't think anybody wants to go back to polls. There's no need to do that.
Just to be clear, are you saying that the Lieutenant Governor told you explicitly that if the Liberal government is defeated in short order, that she will ask you to form government? She said that herself?
Yes.
So that's the clear direction?
Yes.
And as we know, Brian Gallant said he might call the Assembly in November, but from your talk with the Lieutenant Governor, she wants something earlier
Sooner
than that.
Absolutely.
What does she say
well,
exactly?
You know, her words were like, we want this to be weeks. We don't want this to be months. And she knows it'll be after October 5th because that is the timeline for the recounts. And also, if you look right today, in the legislature is set to resume on the 23rd of October. Now that's what's in the records of, and now often when the new government comes in play, that is changed. I admit that. But what it does say is that the Brian Gallant has to come out and say something very soon because the date is October 23rd. I think it's there today. So, but my impression from our discussion was there was no confusion. I mean, she said this isn't going to go on. We can't have this instability in the province. She feels that, you know, her role is very much to ensure that there is stability, and so she doesn't want this to drag out. So she gave every indication that this is not going to go months. It might go days and weeks.
What did she say she'll do if it goes longer than that?
Well, she's encouraging. She's working with Brian Gallant and saying basically it's not. Well, I can't put words in her mouth. I mean, I know. She just said for us, there's a sense of urgency. Time is of the essence. These words were used. That we can't allow this just to drag on.
And does she need any kind of proof that the Liberals or yourself are going to have a majority before calling it?
Well, certainly that would be her preference. That there would be a clear indication that okay, I can form government because, and I think you know, yesterday with what Chris Austin said in the CTV interview, I mean, I think he made it pretty clear, right, that he wasn't supporting Brian Gallant, and he thought the government, I think when he was asked the question, who should form government, well, the one with the most seats. And so, and Gallant said a few weeks ago that he wasn't supporting either me, he wasn't going to work with me, or the people weren't. So, I mean, so he's ruled out his situation right there and said, I'm not working. So how does he anticipate forming government? There has to be only one mechanism for him to form government, and that he's hoping that he can buy something from my side of the house. That's his only avenue.
There was a Liberal staffer here. There was a Liberal staffer here who came and gave us a text message that was sent from Francois Robichaud in the PC office to Brian Kenny, and it says that he works for Blaine Higgs and would like to discuss the next government.
Yeah,
So-
I saw that on the way down here
Closer
this morning.
Mike's.
And-
Sorry.
Closer to the mic, please.
Oh, sorry. Well, I
But
feel like
don't-
I'm being
closer, but don't touch them.
No.
Yeah, really.
Sorry.
I saw that coming here, so that was disappointing for me because I said it a few days ago, and it stays the same with that. I have not authorized anyone to go to talk with anyone about crossing the floor, but most assuredly, I want to make it clear, I will not buy anyone to cross the floor. If someone comes to me and says, "Look, I'd like to join your party," well, that's great. We'll talk and you come after that discussion. But I will not and have not offered anyone something to join. I didn't do that through the whole election. I didn't do it through my leadership. I didn't do it through the campaign. I'm not going to start now.
Can I ask you something? Was Emily that you answered the phone when the alarm called
No.
first, and then and I have another question.
Well, I don't think I will disclose that just now. But it was just last night, and all of a sudden the reception got real bad when I answered.
And
Why won't
what you tell Robert Gauvin? What do you have to
I
say to Robert?
assured Robert that our party principles are solid, and that he doesn't need to worry in any way, shape, or form that we are going to compromise our principles and values that we cherish as a political province.
Have you?
We have discussed, because I've said it all around the province about, I think it's so sad that we're not more of a bilingual province in English or Brunswick. We haven't been able to teach our kids to speak both languages. And he says the same thing. I don't understand it. So, I've had some great experiences in the last couple of years, but unfortunately the southern part of the province is missing all those experiences, the ones that I've enjoyed. And then that's why, for me, the election, it is a disappointment that there is this divide electorally, because that isn't the message, certainly, that I was trying to deliver. I feel that I was unduly targeted in the last days of the campaign, and that hurt. It hurt personally, because I have my motives have been and continue to be genuine, and when someone tries to make something out that isn't, I guess I take it personally.
Is there
Thank
anything
you very much.
stopping you?
Last question. We have to get the copies.
Is there
Right.
anything stopping you? There's been a lot of chatter on social media from just New Brunswickers saying, why can't you guys just work it out? Meaning you and Mr. Gallant. Is there anything stopping yourself from reaching out to him personally, getting, as opposed to speaking through the media, getting down into a room and saying, let's hash this thing out?
Well, at the end of a hockey game, when one scores 4 and one scores 3, you kind of look at the one that's got a score 4 and say, well, I think you won the game. I might not like the outcome, but I think you won the game. So working at the democratic process has always been based on that. So I might say, what is there to work out? And after the time and effort he spent in railing on me over the last 2 years, 4 years, he and I bonding is going to take a little while. So he had his chance, and he lost the support of the people of the province, and so he's out of government, and he just can't accept that. And there lies the challenge. He's not accepting the basic principle of democracy that he has lost. And so, it's like, get over it and let's move on, because we have a province to save. We have things to fix. And I believe that everybody else that's been elected, and I'm talking about all parties, wants to get on with the job. And it seems like he wants to just try to figure out a way to save his job.
Thank you very much. We do have to go to caucus. I'm sorry, Leader, it's time to go, but we'll be up there.
How many hours sleep did you get since the election?
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Charles. I'm sorry. We'll
How many
be at the
hours?
caucus, and there will be an opportunity.
How many
there to
hours
talk.
sleep did you get?
I'm sorry, Charles, but we
Okay.
have to go. Sorry.
How many hours sleep did he get? That's all I'm asking.
Not enough. Not enough.
Come on,
Charles.
talk to me.
Not enough.
Not enough? Are you okay? Is okay?
I'm doing fine.
You're
Yes, I
doing
am.
fine. Okay. There we go.
All right. Thank you very much.
No problem.
Oh, don't think about me.
Yeah, really. There he goes. There you go.